Mommy, when is Daddy coming back? Emily gently rubbed her daughter Lily's back. The only light in the bedroom came from a small nightlight, its warm yellow glow spilling across the pink bedsheets. Lily had just turned 6. Her hair was braided into 2 pigtails, and her eyes looked especially bright in the dim light. Daddy will be back in a month, sweetie. Go to sleep now. Emily's voice was incredibly soft, but inside, her heart ached. Her husband, Alex, had been on a business trip for over 2 months. He had told her his company had a major, make-or-break project down in Austin, Texas. At first, they FaceTimed every day. Then it became once every 2 or 3 days. Over the past week, he had only called twice. But Lily rolled over and grabbed the edge of Emily's sleeve with her little hand. I'll tell you a secret, but you can't get mad. Okay. Emily smiled and stroked her daughter's cheek. What's the secret? Did you draw on the walls with your crayons again? No. Lily scooted closer. Her breath tickled Emily's ear. Her voice dropped to a whisper, as if she were trusting her with the greatest mystery in the world. Daddy's been hiding in the closet for a long time. Is he playing hide and seek with us? Emily's hand froze in mid-air. The bedroom suddenly became terrifyingly quiet. The only sound she could hear was the frantic beating of her own heart. Lily, what are you talking about? Emily tried to keep her voice steady, but her throat had gone dry. In the closet. The big walk-in closet in your room. Lily blinked, completely unaware of the terrifying nature of her words. Daddy's hiding in there. I know. It's been 50 days. I counted. Sometimes he comes out at night. I heard noises. But you told me to sleep tight, so I didn't get out of bed. A cold chill ran down Emily's spine. The hairs on her arms stood up. She slowly turned her head toward the bedroom door. Their master bedroom was right across the hall. The door was slightly ajar, and inside was pitch black. Sweetheart, you can't joke like that. Emily's voice trembled. She hugged Lily tightly. Daddy is on a business trip in Texas. How could he be in the closet? Did you have a nightmare? It's not a nightmare. Lily got agitated and pulled back from Emily's embrace. I really heard it. Sometimes at night, sometimes during the day when I was napping. I even saw him once through the crack in the door. Daddy came out of the closet and went right back in. He even went shh to me and told me not to tell you. Emily sat on the edge of the bed, paralyzed. The wind outside rustled the leaves, and the sound seemed especially sharp in the dead of night. When did you see this? Last Wednesday afternoon. I woke up and needed to use the bathroom, Lily recalled seriously. I saw your bedroom door was open a little. Daddy came out from the closet side, saw me, and went right back. He put his finger to his lips, so I wouldn't tell. Emily found it hard to breathe. She stood up, walked to the window, and took a deep breath. Impossible. Absolutely impossible. Alex was in another state. Just yesterday, he had shared his location, a pin dropped in a city over 1,200 miles away. He sent photos of his workspace to their family group chat every day, even though they had become less frequent lately. Mommy, what's wrong? Lily sounded confused. She slid out of bed and walked barefoot over to Emily. Emily looked down at her daughter. Lily's face was dead serious. It didn't look like a prank at all. A 6-year-old child doesn't just invent such a detailed and terrifying story out of thin air. It's nothing, sweetie. Let's go to sleep. Emily carried Lily back to bed and tucked her in. We'll talk about this tomorrow. It's late now. Is Daddy going to hide in the closet for a long time? Lily whispered, lying down. Isn't it stuffy in there? Should I bring him some water? Emily didn't answer. She gently stroked her daughter until Lily's breathing grew deep and even. Making sure she was asleep, Emily tiptoed out of the nursery. She stood in the hallway, staring at the slightly open door of the master bedroom. The darkness inside seemed alive, slowly seeping out. Emily turned on her phone's flashlight. The beam pierced the dark. Step by step, she walked toward the bedroom, treading so lightly her footsteps made no sound. She pushed the door open. The room looked exactly as it had when she left it that morning. The king-size bed was neatly made. Alex's pillow was in its place. Their framed photo sat on the dresser, Alex with his arm around her, smiling brightly. It was taken 3 years ago at Lily's 3rd birthday party. Emily's gaze shifted to the corner of the room, to the massive custom built-in closet. They had it specially installed during the renovation. It took up an entire wall. The dark mahogany sliding doors were shut tight, gleaming dully in the flashlight beam. Emily walked over and placed her hand on the handle. The cold metal made her flinch. Should she open it? If nothing was there, it meant Lily was lying or having hallucinations. But how could a 6-year-old insist on it for 50 days, keeping an exact count? And what if someone really was in there? Emily was terrified to even think about it. She carefully turned the handle. The door slid open with a soft click. She shined the light inside. On the left hung her clothes, dresses, coats, blouses. On the right were Alex's clothes, mostly suits and button-downs. He preferred a professional style. In the middle were shelves with sweaters and casual wear. Everything looked perfectly normal. Emily slid the door all the way open, even crouching down to look at the bottom. Aside from a few storage bins, there was nothing. She stood up and exhaled, a wave of relief washing over her. Right. A child's imagination. She must miss her dad so much. Her mind is playing tricks on her. Emily closed the closet, walked over to the bed, and sat down. Suddenly, her phone buzzed. It was a text from Alex. "You asleep? Worked late today, just got back to the hotel." A photo followed. A desk in a hotel room with a laptop and some files. The timestamp read 11:23 p.m. Emily stared at the photo for a long time before replying, "Just put Lily to bed. Take care of yourself. Try to get some sleep." The conversation ended there, brief and distant, just like all their recent chats. Emily kept looking at the screen, and suddenly, a detail in the photo caught her eye. Next to the laptop sat a glass of water. The outside of the glass was covered in condensation, as if it had just been taken out of a fridge with ice. But Alex had acid reflux. He never drank ice water. Emily frowned and zoomed in. Maybe the hotel provided it, and he didn't drink it, she reassured herself. But unease, like a drop of ink in clear water, slowly began to spread. The next morning, Emily woke up early. She made breakfast, woke Lily, and drove her to first grade. She was distracted the entire time. "Mommy, why are you so quiet today?" Lily asked from the back seat. "Just thinking about work." Emily forced a smile. As she dropped Lily off, she adjusted her daughter's backpack. "Do you remember what we talked about last night?" "I remember." "Daddy's in the closet," Lily said matter-of-factly, as if it were the most normal thing in the world. "If you see Daddy after school today, tell Mommy immediately, okay?" "Okay." Lily nodded and skipped into the school building. Looking at her daughter's retreating back, Emily felt a heavy weight on her chest. She drove home, spending the entire commute retracing the events of the past 2 months. Alex's business trip had been sudden. He got a call one evening saying the company was urgently launching a project, and he needed to go to Texas for at least 3 months. Emily had asked why it was so sudden. Alex said it was a rare opportunity. If he succeeded, he'd get a major promotion. "It's worth the sacrifice for our family," he had said, hugging her. The next morning, he packed his suitcase and left, not even letting her drop him off at the airport. Then came the daily FaceTimes and texts. But Emily noticed he was calling less and less, always claiming to be in meetings or at business dinners. The photos he sent were always just of his work environment, never a selfie. Once, Emily asked to see his hotel room. Alex said it was a mess and promised to show her when he cleaned up. They both forgot about it. Emily parked in her garage but didn't get out. She sat in the driver's seat, scrolling through Alex's photos on her phone. Married for 7 years. A 6-year-old child. Was Alex a good husband? Honestly, not bad. He deposited his paycheck on time, bought her gifts for their anniversary, and loved their daughter. But something had always been missing. Emily couldn't put her finger on it, maybe intimacy. Alex rarely shared his deep thoughts and made most major decisions himself. Plus, his mother constantly interfered, dictating how they should live. At the thought of her mother-in-law, Emily sighed. She got out of the car and headed inside. Once in the house, she went straight to the master bedroom. The morning sun peeked through the blinds, casting a stripe of light across the floor. Emily opened the closet again. This time, she examined everything meticulously. She went through Alex's clothes one by one, smelling them. There was no musty or stale odor, but when she reached the very bottom, her fingers brushed against something. It was a small, round plastic object. Emily picked it up. It was a standard navy blue button. She didn't remember Alex owning any shirts that color. Furthermore, the button looked brand new, with no signs of wear. She held it in her hand, her mind racing. Maybe it fell off something and she didn't notice? Maybe Lily dropped it while playing? A phone call interrupted her thoughts. It was her mother-in-law, Margaret. "Emily, are you busy?" Margaret's voice was as haughty as ever. "Margaret, I just dropped Lily off at school." "Did something happen?" "Nothing much. I just wanted to ask how Alex is doing lately." Margaret paused. "He's been on this business trip for so long. Do you two talk often?" "Every day, Margaret. Don't worry." Emily walked to the window, looking out at the front lawn. "That's good. Because I worry that some people start acting carelessly when their husbands aren't home." The words stung. Emily gripped the phone so hard her nails dug into her palm. "What do you mean by that?" "I don't mean anything. Just reminding you to be careful." Margaret's tone turned icy. "Alex is out there working his fingers to the bone. Don't create problems for him at home. I heard you were out at a company happy hour last week with a male coworker." Anger flared in Emily. "It was an office mixer. There were over 10 of us there." "Who knows? I wasn't there," Margaret scoffed. "Let me tell you, Emily, we accepted you into this family because you seemed modest and decent. If you do anything shameful, don't say I didn't warn you." The line went dead. Emily stood there, shaking with fury. This wasn't the first time. For 7 years, her mother-in-law had constantly criticized and suspected her. And Alex always said, "My mom is getting older, just let it go." She accommodated, and this was what it got her. Emily took a few deep breaths, forcing herself to calm down. Now was not the time to be angry. The closet, the mother-in-law's call, Alex's strange behavior. These fragments swirled in her mind but wouldn't form a complete picture. She needed to figure this out. She took a personal day from work, emailing her boss about a family emergency, and began systematically searching the entire house. She started with the bedroom, inch by inch. Walls, floors, furniture, anywhere a person could hide. Nothing. Everything in the house was perfectly normal, except for that mysterious button. Emily sat on the living room sofa, clutching the button. She remembered Lily's words. "Daddy's hiding in the closet. It's been 50 days. 50 days. Alex left for his trip 68 days ago. If Lily was telling the truth, that meant Alex came back 18 days after he left and had been hiding in the closet ever since. It was too absurd." Emily shook her head, feeling like she was losing her mind for even entertaining the possibility. That evening, she picked Lily up from school. Kids were running out happily. Lily saw Emily and rushed over. "How was school today, baby?" Emily picked her daughter up and kissed her cheek. "Good. We learned some new songs." Lily wrapped her arms around Emily's neck and whispered, "Mommy, I thought about Daddy all day." Emily's heart skipped a beat. "What did you think about? When is he coming out of the closet?" Lily's voice was so low only Emily could hear. "During nap time today, I dreamed Daddy came out and read me a story." Emily didn't know what to say. On the drive home, she cautiously asked, "Can you tell Mommy how you found out Daddy was in the closet?" "I just heard noises," Lily replied, playing with a toy and not looking up. "At night, when I'm sleeping, I hear rustling, like a mouse." At first, I was scared. Then one time, I quietly got up and saw Daddy come out of your room and go to the kitchen to drink water. He saw me and told me to go back to sleep. He said we were playing hide and seek. Emily's hands grew sweaty on the steering wheel. "When was this?" "After Daddy went on his trip, Lily thought about it. I found out right after he left." "Why are you just telling Mommy now?" "Because Daddy said it was a secret," Lily answered seriously. "He said it was our game, and if I told you, it wouldn't be fun anymore. But I think he's been hiding for too long. Maybe he's uncomfortable." The car stopped at a red light. Emily stared straight ahead, her mind buzzing. Lily's description was too specific. It didn't sound made up. Plus, she mentioned the kitchen. If Alex really was coming out at night to drink water, Emily remembered that lately, she'd noticed the glasses in the kitchen weren't exactly where she left them. She thought she was just misremembering. Back home, while making dinner for Lily, Emily inspected every corner of the kitchen. There were 4 glasses on the drying rack. She remembered only using 2 that morning, but now 3 were wet. Did Lily use one? Lily, did you drink water this afternoon? Yeah, Grandma poured me some, Lily said, coloring at the kitchen table. Grandma came over? Emily spun around. Uh-huh. Grandma came over this afternoon and played with me for a bit, Lily nodded. She said she came to check on me and brought cookies. Margaret came over. Emily frowned. Margaret hadn't mentioned that on the phone. Margaret had a spare key. Alex had given her one for emergencies. When did Grandma leave? She left when I woke up from my nap. Lily finished drawing a flower and looked at Emily. Mommy, does Grandma not like you? Emily froze. Why do you think that? Because Grandma said it would be better if you weren't here. Lily's voice dropped. She said Daddy could have a much better life. And it's all because of you. Emily felt a sharp pain in her chest. She crouched down and took her daughter's hands. Grandma is just saying silly things. Mommy and Daddy are very happy together, right? Lily looked doubtful, but Daddy rarely smiles. And you guys don't kiss like other kids' parents do. The innocence of a child cut like a knife. Emily hugged her daughter, unable to utter a single word. That night, after putting Lily to sleep, Emily sat alone in the dark living room. Only the faint light from the street lamps filtered through the windows. She needed to think. If Lily was telling the truth and Alex really was in the closet, what did it mean? Why was he doing this? The business trip was a lie. What about his company? What about the photos and location pins? If Lily was lying, why would she invent such a story? Could a 6-year-old construct something so flawless? And Margaret, her unannounced visit today. Why did she come? Why didn't she mention it? Emily stood up and went back to the master bedroom. This time, she didn't turn on the light. She just stood in the dark, staring at the closet. The moonlight hit the doors, casting a blurry reflection. Emily walked over slowly, pressed her ear against the door, held her breath, and listened. At first, she only heard her own heartbeat. Then, she heard a faint, almost imperceptible sound like the rubbing of fabric or someone breathing. Emily jerked back, bumping into her vanity. Bottles of cosmetics rattled and clinked. The sound inside the closet stopped instantly. Everything plunged back into dead silence. She stood there, the blood freezing in her veins. She heard it. She really heard it. It wasn't a hallucination. There was someone in the closet. Emily practically ran out of the bedroom. She bolted into the living room, slammed the door shut, leaned against it, and gasped for air. Her heart was hammering against her ribs, threatening to break out. The moonlight traced the dark silhouettes of the furniture. It was quiet. Too quiet. So quiet she could hear the blood rushing in her ears. She slid down to the floor, hugged her knees, and curled into a ball. Was the sound real, or was it paranoia? She pinched her arm hard. Sharp pain. It wasn't a dream. Someone really was in the closet. The realization hit her like a bucket of ice water, making her shiver. Alex is in the closet. Her husband, Lily's father, had been hiding in their own bedroom for 50 days. Why? Her mind was a chaotic mess. Terrifying theories flooded in. He was spying on her. It was Margaret's idea. They were trying to catch her doing something. All the unpleasant moments of their 7-year marriage resurfaced: Margaret's nitpicking, Alex's coldness, the details she had ignored, the resentment she had suppressed. Emily bit her lip, forcing herself to stay calm. She couldn't panic now. If Alex really was in the closet, he now knew she suspected something. What would happen next? Would he come out or keep hiding? Emily slowly got up, her legs still feeling like jelly. She grabbed her phone. Her fingers hovered over the screen. Who to call? The police? And say, what? My husband is hiding in my closet? Would they even believe her? Besides, if it really was Alex, it was a domestic dispute. The police wouldn't do much. Call her best friend, Olivia? Olivia was Alex's college classmate. They had kept in touch, but Olivia was hot-tempered. If she found out, she'd rush over immediately, and a massive scandal would ensue. Emily set the phone down and paced the living room. She needed proof. She needed to be absolutely certain it was Alex in that closet, and she needed to know why he was doing this. Also, if he was hiding there all the time, what about during the day? Lily said she heard noises during the day too. Was he in there all day long? Emily suddenly thought about the electric bill. Last month, It was significantly higher than usual. She had assumed it was because of the Texas heat and running the AC, but if there was another person in the house constantly, what about the water and gas? Emily opened her utility portal app on her phone. The water bill was up 15%, gas 20%, electricity 30%. It all started around the time Alex supposedly left. Emily felt her hands and feet go completely numb. She walked to the kitchen and opened the fridge. The Chobani yogurt she bought last weekend, she clearly remembered buying a 4-pack. There were only 2 left. The carton of eggs, 5, were missing in just 3 days. She had assumed she miscounted, or that Lily had eaten them. But now, Emily closed the fridge and leaned against the counter. Every single clue pointed to one thing. There was a third person secretly living in this house. And she, the homeowner, hadn't noticed a thing for 50 days. If Lily hadn't spoken up, she might never have known. The terror of that realization was even worse than the fear of finding someone in the closet. It meant she had lost total control over her own life. It meant she was being played for an absolute fool. Emily clenched her fists, her nails digging deep into her palms. Anger began to eclipse the fear. For what? What had she done wrong? For 7 years she worked, earned a paycheck, took care of the family, and was respectful to her mother-in-law, even though the woman never appreciated it. Alex said he needed to focus on his career. She supported him. He said he'd be working late. She understood. He said he had to go to Texas for 3 months. She didn't object. And this was what she got in return. He hides in a closet and spies on her. Emily marched back to the bedroom door and put her hand on the knob. This time, there was no fear, only a burning rage in her chest. She wanted to burst in, rip the closet doors open, drag whoever was in there out, and demand to know what the hell they were trying to achieve. But logic stopped her. She couldn't act impulsively. If it really was Alex, why was he doing this? There had to be a reason, and if he had managed to hide for 50 days, it meant this was meticulously planned. Such calculated behavior wasn't just a prank. Emily let go of the handle and stepped back. She needed a plan. First, confirm it's Alex. Second, find out his endgame. Only then could she decide what to do. Emily barely slept that night. She lay in Lily's bed, holding her daughter, her eyes wide open. Her ears tracked every sound coming from the master bedroom, but the night was dead quiet, save for the occasional gust of wind and a passing car. By morning, Emily's eyes were bloodshot from insomnia. She quietly got up and made Lily breakfast. "Mommy, your eyes are so red," Lily said at the table, looking concerned. "Mommy didn't sleep well. Had some bad dreams." Emily forced a smile and pushed a glass of milk toward her. "I'll drop you off at school today, but then I have some errands. I'll pick you up early." After dropping Lily off, Emily didn't go to her office. She called in sick for another day, then drove straight to a specialized tech and security store downtown. "I need a micro camera," she told the clerk, trying to sound casual. "A hidden one that I can connect to my phone and watch in real time." The clerk showed her a few models. Emily chose the smallest one, the size of a button, which could be attached with a magnet. As she paid, her hands shook slightly. She never imagined a day would come when she'd install surveillance equipment in her own home to spy on her own husband. But since it had come to this, she had to know the truth. Returning home, Emily stood by the bedroom door, took a few deep breaths, and walked in. Morning sunlight flooded the room. Everything looked so normal. The built-in closet sat quietly in the corner, its mahogany doors shut tight. Emily walked over and opened it. Inside, everything was exactly as it had been yesterday. Clothes hung neatly. She carefully inspected the walls of the closet, looking for hidden compartments or false panels, but found nothing. Was there space behind the closet? Emily remembered this wall was load-bearing. There couldn't be a cavity. Plus, it was custom-built tight against the drywall. She stepped back, assessing it. The whole closet was maybe 7 feet wide and 3 feet deep. For a grown man, it would be extremely cramped. If Alex had really spent 50 days in there, Emily shook her head, unable to imagine it. She took out the camera and found a discreet spot. On the bookshelf opposite the closet sat a decorative picture frame. She magnetically attached the camera to the back of the frame so the lens pointed directly at the closet. She opened the app on her phone and adjusted the angle. The feed was crystal clear in 1080p, capturing the entire closet and most of the room. She turned on motion detection. The moment there was movement, It would record and send a push notification. Done. She walked out of the room and closed the door. Now, all she could do was wait. Around noon, Emily made a sandwich. Her phone remained silent. No alerts. She opened the live feed. The bedroom was empty. The doors were shut. At 2 p.m., just as she was getting ready to pick up Lily, her phone violently buzzed. Motion detected. Emily's heart skipped a beat. She tapped the notification. The video loaded. In the bedroom, the closet door was slid open just an inch. An arm reached out from inside. Emily held her breath, her eyes glued to the screen. She knew that arm well. Long fingers, and on the wrist, a watch. Alex's watch. The Tag Heuer, she bought him for their 3rd anniversary. Emily felt all the blood rush to her head. It was him. The arm fumbled around on the outside as if checking the gap and then withdrew. The closet door slid shut again. The whole thing took less than 10 seconds. If she hadn't been looking at the screen, she would have missed it. Emily collapsed onto the sofa. The phone slipped from her hands. It really was Alex. Her husband was genuinely hiding in the closet, and he had just reached out. It was only an arm, but it proved Lily was telling the truth. It proved that for 50 days he had been in this house, secretly watching her. Emily buried her face in her hands. Her shoulders shook not from fear, but from rage, humiliation, and a bone-chilling cold. 7 years of marriage. Who had she married? Her phone rang again. It was Margaret. Emily looked at the caller ID and suddenly understood everything. Margaret's sudden visit yesterday. Those insulting words. And before Alex left for his trip, Margaret had visited too. They had talked in the home office for a long time. And right after that, Alex announced the Austin project. This was entirely orchestrated. Emily answered the call. Her voice was surprisingly calm. Yes, Margaret? Emily, are you not at work today? Margaret sounded curious. I wasn't feeling well. Took a sick day. Oh, home alone then? Who else would be here? Emily asked, a touch of sarcasm creeping in. Margaret paused. I just worry. With Alex gone, you need to be careful living alone. Thanks for your concern, Margaret. I'm perfectly fine. Emily stared at the camera feed. The closet doors remained shut tight. By the way, has Alex mentioned anything to you lately? About what? Well, about work or family plans? Margaret's words were vague. No, we haven't talked much lately. Don't you know that, Margaret? Emily said pointedly. Well, I know he's busy with work. Margaret's voice sounded slightly panicked. I was just asking. Get some rest. The call ended. Emily set the phone down and let out a cold laugh. Her mother-in-law was probing her. It seemed she knew exactly where Alex was. She was probably the mastermind behind this whole sick game. Why? What did they want? Emily remembered that even before the wedding, Margaret disliked her. She thought Emily came from too ordinary a background, with just a regular corporate job. But Alex had insisted, and Margaret had to cave. All these years, Margaret picked on her, trying to force her to leave, but Emily endured it for Alex, for Lily, for the family. It seemed her patience had earned her not respect, but ultimate humiliation. On the way to pick up Lily, Emily pondered her next move. Show her hand? No. She still didn't know exactly what Alex and his mother were plotting. If she blew the lid off now, Alex would just come out, and she might never learn the real truth. Pretend to know nothing and let the play continue? Emily gritted her teeth. She couldn't stomach knowing her husband was in the closet spying on her while acting like everything was fine. It was too disgusting. Mommy, are you in a bad mood? Lily's voice snapped Emily out of her thoughts. No, baby, Mommy was just thinking. Emily looked at her daughter in the rearview mirror. Lily, when you saw Daddy come out of the closet, what was he wearing? Normal clothes? Lily thought about it. Sometimes pajamas. Sometimes what he wears to work. Work clothes? Like a shirt and pants? Emily frowned. If Alex was wearing work clothes, it meant he might actually be leaving the house during the day and returning to hide in the closet at night. Did you see him leave the house? No, Lily shook her head. He was always home. He only came out when I was sleeping. Emily didn't press further. Back home, she helped Lily with her homework and cooked dinner. Everything as usual. But inside, her nerves were pulled taut as a bowstring. At 8 p.m., Lily was watching cartoons in the living room. Under the guise of putting away laundry, Emily went into the bedroom. She quickly walked to the bookshelf, took down the frame, grabbed the camera, connected it to her phone, and reviewed the day's footage. Aside from that one instance at noon, the doors hadn't opened again, but Emily scrubbed back and looked closer. She noticed a detail. When the door opened at noon, there seemed to be a very faint light inside, like the glow of a smartphone screen. And when the arm reached out, it was holding something. Too small to make out. Emily zoomed in to the maximum. The blurry pixels formed a shape. It looked like a pill bottle. Alex was generally healthy and rarely took medication, except for his antacids, but he told her he had packed those for the trip. Emily saved the video, put the camera back, and left the room. The moment she entered the living room, her phone rang. Alex. Emily stared at the name, hesitated for a few seconds, and answered. Hello. Her voice was flat, devoid of emotion. Did you guys eat? Alex's voice sounded steady. The background was quiet. We ate. What about you? Worked late today, just ordered some DoorDash. He sounded a bit tired. How's the project? Emily walked out to the patio and slid the glass door shut. Fine. Just a little exhausted. I miss you and Lily. Before, those words would have warmed her heart. Now, they sounded entirely fake. Really? Well, take care of yourself. Her tone was frosty. Is everything okay? You seem out of sorts, Alex noticed. No, just tired. Emily looked out into the suburban night. Lights were turning on in the neighboring houses. Behind every window was a family. Her own family looked intact from the outside, but inside, it was rotting. By the way, my mom called me today, Alex suddenly said. And what did she say? She said you were out with a male coworker. There was a testing edge to his voice. How would she know that? Emily asked. She just mentioned it. Don't worry about it. Mom is getting older. She overthinks. I'm not worried. Emily scoffed coldly, though Alex couldn't see it. Do you trust me? She suddenly asked. There was a few seconds of silence on the line. Of course I trust you. You're my wife. He said it so naturally. If she didn't know the truth, she almost would have believed him. Good. I'm hanging up. Lily's calling me. Okay, get some rest. The call ended. Emily stood on the patio. The night breeze brought a chill. She wrapped her arms around herself. Returning to the living room, she saw Lily had finished her cartoons. Mommy, I'm sleepy. Okay, let's go take a bath. While in the tub, playing with the bubbles, Lily suddenly said, Mommy, Daddy called me today. Emily's hand froze. When? When I was making dinner? He called my gizmo watch from your phone. Lily held up her wet wrist. He said he's in Texas and misses me. And he told me to listen to you. A cold shiver ran down Emily's back. Alex called Lily from her phone. She was home all afternoon and her phone was always nearby. Unless he took her phone while she was unaware. Emily remembered she had dozed off on the sofa for half an hour that afternoon. When she woke up, her phone was right where she left it. If Alex moved fast, what else did Daddy say? He said he'll be back soon and asked if you went out anywhere recently. Lily played with the phone, not noticing Emily's expression change. And what did you say? I said you were home all the time, and that Grandma came over. What did Daddy say to that? He said, got it, and told me not to tell you he called. Lily looked up, her big eyes confused. But I think I should tell you. Emily hugged her daughter. Her heart was ice cold. Alex was using their daughter to check up on her. If she had gone out today, Lily would have told him. And then what? What would he do? Lily, if Daddy calls, always tell Mommy, okay? Why? Daddy said it's our secret. Because Mommy wants to know what Daddy says. Mommy misses him too. Emily invented an excuse. Okay, Lily nodded. After putting Lily to bed, Emily checked her phone. There was no outgoing call to Lily's watch in the history. Alex had deleted it. She opened her contacts, found the watch's number, hesitated, and dialed. Hello, Mommy? Came Lily's sleepy voice. Sweetie, not asleep yet? Almost. Is something wrong? Nothing. Just checking if you were asleep. Good night. Good night, Mommy. Emily hung up. Alex could sneak out and grab her phone. That meant he could not only leave the closet, but move freely around the house. And she hadn't noticed a thing. Emily walked to the bedroom door. This time, she didn't go in. She stood by the threshold and spoke into the room, her voice not loud, but perfectly clear. Alex, I know you're in there. I don't know what you and your mother are planning, but let me tell you, I'm not scared. You can hide in there for the rest of your life. Let's see who breaks first. With that, she turned and walked away, not stopping, not waiting for an answer. She went back into Lily's room, locked the door, leaned against it, and listened. Dead silence. A few minutes later, a very faint sound drifted from the master bedroom, the unmistakable slide of the closet door opening and closing. Emily smiled and tears welled in her eyes. Finally, he knew she knew. The game was on. The next morning, Emily woke up early, made breakfast, and took Lily to school as usual. But everything felt different. She knew Alex was in the closet. Alex knew she knew. An unspoken, eerie tension draped over the entire house like an invisible film. At the school gates, Emily crouched down to adjust Lily's jacket. Lily, Aunt Olivia is going to pick you up today. Why not you? Lily grabbed her hand. Mommy has errands today. I'll be home late. Emily stroked her hair. You'll go to Aunt Olivia's, do your homework, have dinner, and wait for me to get you, okay? Okay, Lily nodded obediently. Remember, if anyone asks, say Mommy is working late today. Got it? And you can't tell Daddy. Especially Daddy. Emily looked at her daughter seriously. This is our new secret, more important than the closet secret. Okay. Lily's eyes sparkled. She loved having secrets with her mom. After dropping Lily off, Emily drove to her friend Olivia's place. Olivia lived in a trendy condo downtown, was single, and ran her own interior design studio. Seeing the dark circles under Emily's eyes and her exhausted appearance, Olivia was alarmed. Oh my God, what's wrong with you? Are you sick? Not sick. Worse. Emily walked in and collapsed onto the couch. What happened? Olivia poured her a glass of water and sat beside her. Emily took a sip and began to talk. From Lily's shocking revelation, to finding the button, to setting up the camera, and finally seeing the arm reach out with her own eyes. Olivia listened, her mouth hanging open. Are you telling me Alex has been hiding in your closet for 50 days? At least 50 days. According to Lily's math, Emily laughed bitterly. And his mother is in on it. They're working together. Why? What do they want? I don't know, Emily shook her head. That's why I came to you for help. I need to check some things today. And Lily can't be home. No problem. I've got Lily, Olivia said immediately. But what are you going to check? I'm going to Alex's company. Emily set the glass down, her gaze determined. If Alex is really hiding in a closet, then his job situation is a lie. Someone at the company must know something, and I want to check his credit card statements. His expenses during this trip. If he's been home all this time, where are the transactions in Texas coming from? Olivia looked at Emily and suddenly hugged her tightly. I am so sorry you're going through this. Those simple words almost broke the dam. For 7 years she had pretended to be strong, pretended to be happy. And finally, someone acknowledged her pain. I'm okay, Emily sniffled. I just want the truth. I'm going with you. Olivia stood up. You shouldn't do this alone, it's easier with two. Emily hesitated, then nodded. Thank you, Liv. What are best friends for? Olivia patted her shoulder. Give me 5 minutes to get dressed, and we'll hit his office first. Alex's company was located in a corporate park downtown. Emily had been there a few times, and the receptionist recognized her. Emily, hi. Are you here to see someone? She asked, surprised. I'm looking for Alex. It's an emergency. Emily tried to sound normal, but Alex is on a business trip. The receptionist looked even more confused. A business trip? Emily's heart tightened. He left almost 3 months ago. I don't remember the exact date. It was an assignment from Mr. Davis, a major project down in Texas. Alex is the lead. Has he been back at all recently? No, he's been there the whole time. The girl shook her head. Just last week, Mr. Davis mentioned Alex is doing a stellar job out there. The trip might even get extended. Emily and Olivia exchanged a look. Can I speak with Mr. Davis? He's not in today. He's at a summit at the corporate headquarters, the girl said apologetically. Is Alex's office still intact? Yes, but it's locked. Can I just look inside, through the glass? Emily pleaded. The girl hesitated, but finally agreed. Wait here. I'll grab the master key. Alex's office was at the end of the hall, small, but very neat. Through the glass wall, everything was visible. The desk was clear, just a monitor and a few folders. The chair was pushed in, as if he had just stepped out for a moment. But Emily noticed one glaring detail. In the corner of the desk sat a potted plant. Alex's favorite monstera. The leaves were yellowed, the edges curled. It clearly hadn't been watered in ages. If Alex was genuinely on a company-sanctioned, high-stakes trip, his office wouldn't look completely abandoned like this. At the very least, an assistant or colleague would have watered the plant. Hasn't anyone watered that plant? Emily asked. Oh, yeah. The girl looked embarrassed. After Alex left, the office was locked. No one's been in there, meaning no one has watered it for over 2 months, I guess. The girl's voice trailed off. Emily nodded and didn't ask anything else. Walking out of the building and getting into the car, Olivia spoke first. It seems the company really thinks Alex is on a business trip, but the state of that office is weird. If it was a crucial 2-month project, they wouldn't just leave his office completely unmaintained. Emily started the car. Unless this trip was a complete fabrication from the start. But why would the company play along? Mr. Davis and Alex are tight, right? Maybe Alex asked him for a massive favor? Emily remembered Alex mentioning how Mr. Davis had mentored him. But this is insane. Faking a business trip just to hide in a closet? Not faking a business trip to hide in a closet, Emily gripped the steering wheel. Hiding in a closet to fake a business trip. Olivia froze. What do you mean? I mean, the trip is part of the plan, and hiding in the closet is too. Emily's gaze turned icy. They have a master plan. I just don't know the objective. Next, Emily drove to the bank. She was an authorized user on Alex's primary checking account, but she wanted to pull the detailed physical statements from the teller. Looking over the printouts for the last 3 months, she saw a long list of transactions. Most were normal. Groceries, gas, restaurants. But Emily noticed that starting from the day Alex left, there were numerous charges in Austin, Texas. Hotels, restaurants, convenience stores. The timing was regular, almost every day. It truly looked like someone living in another city. But looking closer, Emily found glaring inconsistencies. The transaction amounts were suspiciously uniform. The hotel charge was exactly the same every single day. The restaurant bills were roughly identical, and the times were heavily clustered around noon and evening, like a programmed schedule. It's too rigid, Olivia pointed out. A normal person in a new city doesn't spend money exactly like this, unless it's automated or deliberate. Emily pointed to a specific charge. Look here. 10 p.m. A purchase at a 7. 11 for $12.50. Next day, 10 p.m. Same 7. 11, exactly $12.50. Third day, same thing. Life doesn't work like that. Emily shoved the papers into her purse. These expenses are fake. He either gave his card to someone else down there, or used some virtual spoofing method. Alex isn't in Texas. He's been home this whole time. He created this paper trail to make everyone believe he was gone, including me. Her voice wavered at the end. To be played like this by the person closest to her, it felt worse than betrayal. Where to now? Olivia asked. Home, Emily started the engine. You take Lily. I'm going back to face Alex. Her eyes were resolute. Since he knows I know, and I know he's there, it's time to settle this. I want to know why. Should I come with you? Olivia asked, worried. No. This is between us. Emily shook her head. You take care of Lily. I'll pick her up tonight. If I don't show up, call the cops. Olivia looked horrified. Is it that serious? I don't know, Emily laughed bitterly. I don't know what Alex and Margaret are plotting. But hiding in a house for 50 days and fabricating an interstate business trip, we're way past normal behavior. After dropping Olivia off, Emily drove back alone. The whole way, memories flooded her mind. How she met Alex, the honeymoon phase, their wedding vows, the pain and joy of Lily's birth. 7 years flashed before her eyes like a movie reel. She once believed that despite a difficult mother-in-law, Alex truly loved her. That despite an ordinary life, Being together as a family was enough. Now she realized it was all a lie. The home she thought was hers, the husband she thought was hers, all fake. Arriving home, Emily didn't go straight in. She stood by the front door, took a few deep breaths, and pushed it open. The house was as quiet as when she left, but she felt a distinct shift. Tension hung thick in the air. She dropped her bag, took off her shoes, and walked into the center of the living room. She didn't go to the bedroom. She didn't even glance toward the closet. She sat on the sofa and turned on the TV. She kept the volume low, just enough for background noise. She sat there, staring at the screen, not registering a single image. She was waiting for Alex to come out on his own. Since the gig was up, he didn't need to hide anymore. Time dragged on, minute by minute. A news anchor droned on the screen. The sun tracked across the floor. 1 p.m. 2 p.m. No reaction from the closet. Emily started to lose patience. Was she wrong? Was Alex planning to just keep hiding? She stood up and marched to the bedroom. The door was slightly open, just as she left it. She pushed it wide. The room was empty. The sliding closet doors were tightly shut. Emily walked up and stood right in front of it. "Alex, come out," she demanded to the wood. "Let's talk." No answer. Emily reached for the handle. This time, there was no hesitation. She yanked it hard. The door slid open with a bang. Everything inside lay bare before her eyes. The clothes hung neatly. The shelves were orderly. No Alex, no secret compartments, no hidden trapdoors, nothing. Emily froze. Had she been wrong after all? Was everything Lily said just a child's fantasy? Were all the clues just coincidences? She stood paralyzed, her fingers still gripping the cold metal handle. Her eyes bored into the interior of the closet, as if trying to burn a hole through the neatly arranged garments. Nothing. On the left, her maxi dresses hung perfectly flat. On the right, his suits were pristine, the collars still encased in the dust covers she arranged herself. Even the cashmere scarf she put on the middle shelf last week was undisturbed. The storage bins at the bottom were perfectly aligned. The walls were smooth drywall. There was absolutely nowhere a grown man could hide. This closet was custom built. She knew every inch of it. Was I wrong? The thought pierced her heart like a needle, sending her into a spiral of confusion. Lily's words. The breathing in the dark. The arm with the familiar watch on the video. The spiked utility bills, the missing yogurt and eggs, Margaret's bizarre insinuations. All these clues, like scattered beads, suddenly lost their connecting thread. Was it just Lily's imagination? A 6-year-old missing her dad so much she constructed a realistic lie, even keeping count of 50 days? But the details, the shh gesture, the exact times, it was too real. And the video feed. The arm, the watch. She had watched it over and over. There was no mistake. Or, did Alex sneak out while she was at his company in the bank? Emily snapped out of her daze. She practically lunged at the bookshelf, grabbed the picture frame, yanked the camera off, and with trembling fingers, opened the app on her phone. She pulled up the recording timeline from after she left the house. The video showed her leaving at 9:17 a.m. The living room was quiet. Shadows shifted across the floor. At 9:46 a.m., the closet door in the bedroom suddenly moved. It didn't just crack open like before. It slid all the way to the side. A familiar silhouette emerged. It was Alex. He was wearing gray sweatpants and an old t-shirt. His hair was a mess. Dark circles bagged his eyes, and his face was gaunt and exhausted. Nothing like the energetic persona he projected in his photos. Stepping out of the closet, he didn't immediately leave the room. He leaned back against the sliding door and buried his face in his hands. His shoulders shook violently, clearly suppressing massive emotion. Emily's heart raced. Her fingers gripped her phone like a vice. The screen cast a pale light on her bloodless face. She held her breath and kept watching. A few minutes later, Alex dropped his hands. His face was streaked with tears. He looked up, glanced warily at the bedroom door, then tiptoed over to the bed and sat down. His gaze locked onto their framed anniversary photo on the dresser. His eyes held a complex mix of emotions: guilt, pain, and an agonizing internal struggle. He sat there for 10 minutes, motionless as a statue. Then, he stood up, went to the kitchen, opened the fridge, and took out a Chobani yogurt, one of the missing ones she had noted. He grabbed a slice of bread and ate it rapidly, eyes darting toward the front door the entire time, terrified someone would walk in. Finished, he stepped out onto the back patio, pulled out his phone, turned his back to the camera, and made a call. Because of the distance, there was no audio, but his body language became increasingly frantic. He was scowling, lips moving rapidly, clearly arguing with whoever was on the line. He gripped the phone so hard his knuckles were white. At one point, he raised his arm as if to smash the phone against the brick wall, but stopped himself at the last second, gritting his teeth and ending the call. After the call, Alex stood leaning against the patio railing for a long time, staring off into the distance. The morning sun hit him, but he looked utterly pathetic. Finally, he turned back inside, went to the hallway closet, pulled out his sneakers, and put them on. He grabbed a black duffel bag from the coat closet, hastily shoved a few items inside, and took one last look toward the master bedroom. A look filled with profound regret. Then, he quietly slipped out the front door. The timestamp read 10:25 a.m. Emily watched the clip over and over until her phone grew hot and her fingers went numb. She finally confirmed she wasn't crazy, and Lily wasn't lying. Alex had indeed been hiding in that closet for 50 days, and he had just left in a panic, yet with a lingering reluctance. But where did he go? Who was he fighting with on the phone? Margaret? Or someone else? Why did he fake a business trip? Why did he leave so abruptly? What was the secret behind all of this? A million questions swarmed Emily's mind, giving her a splitting headache. She walked out onto the patio, staring in the direction Alex had gone. Her soul was a battlefield. Anger, betrayal, confusion, panic. The emotions crushed her chest until it was hard to breathe. She remembered their 7 years together. They had reconnected at a college alumni mixer. She was fresh off a bad breakup and deeply depressed. Alex was there, gentle, attentive. He remembered her coffee order, brought her takeout when she worked late, took care of her when she had the flu, and held her tight when she cried. That gentleness was why she married him, despite everything. Even knowing Margaret despised her, thinking she was a nobody with a mediocre job, unworthy of her precious son. Emily had believed that if she just tried hard enough, was respectful enough, she would eventually melt Margaret's icy heart and earn a happy family. After the wedding, she killed herself trying. She worked full-time, managed the household, took care of Alex, and swallowed Margaret's endless passive-aggressive remarks. When Margaret nitpicked, she stayed quiet. When Margaret complained to Alex about her, she bore it silently, never fighting back so she wouldn't put Alex in the middle. After Lily was born, she was exhausted to her very bones, but she never complained, believing that as long as they were together, any hardship was worth it. She never expected her sacrifices would lead to this. A husband hiding in a closet to spy on her, and a mother-in-law secretly pulling the strings. Together, they spun a massive web of lies, treating her like an absolute idiot. Emily leaned against the railing, and the tears finally fell. She didn't know what she had done wrong. What did she do to deserve this? She just wanted a peaceful life to love her husband, coexist with her mother-in-law, and watch Lily grow up happy and healthy. Why was such a simple wish impossible? She cried for a long time, but eventually, she calmed down. Tears wouldn't solve anything. She had to find Alex. She had to get the truth. And she had to get justice for herself and for Lily. She wiped her face, pulled out her phone, and dialed Alex's number. It rang for a long time before he picked up. Hello? Alex's voice was hoarse and exhausted. She could hear the faint sound of wind in the background. Alex, where are you? Emily's voice was remarkably calm, so calm it surprised even her. It sounded like someone else entirely, not the woman who had just been sobbing on the patio. There was a few seconds of silence on the other end. I'm in Austin. We had an emergency on the project. I'm out in the field. Really? Emily let out a cold, sharp laugh. Sarcasm dripped from her words. You're in Austin? Then why didn't you tell me that when you walked out the front door this morning? And those clothes in your duffel bag, are those for your business trip? Or to hide from me somewhere else? Dead silence on the line. Just the sound of the wind. A long time passed before Alex spoke again, his voice thick with guilt and despair. You? You know everything? I know you hid in my closet for 50 days. I know you fabricated a business trip to spy on me. I know you and your mother have been playing me for a fool. Her voice steadily rose. The accumulated rage and betrayal finally erupted. Alex, tell me why. What did I do wrong to make you treat me like this? How could you lie to me like this? I'm sorry, Em. I'm so sorry. Alex sounded like he was choking back tears. I didn't want to lie to you. I didn't want to do this. I was forced. Forced? Emily froze. Who forced you? Your mother? She forced you to hide in a closet and spy on me. And you just did it? She forced you to lie to me? And you lied? Alex, are you even a man? Do you have a single thought of your own? Did you ever think about me? About Lily? About our family? I did, of course I did. Alex's voice grew agitated. Em, every day I hid in that closet, watching you take care of Lily alone, watching you carry the weight of this house alone, and it was killing me. I felt so ashamed. I wanted to come out 1,000 times and tell you the truth, but I couldn't. I really couldn't. Why couldn't you? Emily pressed. What could possibly be the reason you'd rather hide in a closet and lie to me than tell the truth? Alex, we are husband and wife. What can't we face together? Alex hesitated, a long silence stretching before he struggled to speak. Em, don't ask. When I sort everything out here, I will come home. I will tell you everything. Just give me a little more time. Just a little. I'm not giving you any more time, Emily said firmly. I want the truth now. Tell me where you are right now. I'm coming to you. No, Em, you can't come to me. Alex's voice turned urgent. Where I am right now is dangerous for you. If you come here, it will only make things worse. Trust me. I will try to fix this as fast as I can and come home. Dangerous? Emily's heart dropped. His words only confused and terrified her more. What kind of mess was he in that he considered dangerous? What secret was terrifying him so much? Alex, tell me, did something happen? Did your mom do something? Or are you in some kind of real trouble? Emily's tone softened slightly, her anger yielding to genuine concern. No matter what, he was her husband, the father of her child. She couldn't just stand by if he was in danger. I'm fine, don't worry. Alex's tone softened too. I'm just handling a personal matter. It'll be over soon. Em, stay home and be safe. Take care of Lily. Don't overthink. And whatever you do, don't go see my mother. Okay? When I get back, everything will be fine. Emily wanted to ask more, but the line went dead. He had hung up. She called back immediately, but his phone was turned off. Emily stood on the patio, holding the dead phone. A chilling emptiness filled her. Alex's evasiveness, his guilt, the words forced and dangerous. It convinced her this was far more complicated than she thought. And Margaret definitely knew the whole truth. Just then, the doorbell rang. Emily's heart jolted. She walked to the door and looked through the peephole. It was Margaret. Emily took a deep breath, forcing herself to maintain composure. Bring it on. She pulled the door open. Her face was a blank mask. Margaret, what are you doing here? Margaret was holding a casserole dish, a fake expression of deep concern plastered on her face. She walked in, her eyes darting around the living room as if searching for something. Emily, sweetheart, I came to check on you and bring you dinner. You're home alone. I figured you wouldn't feel like cooking, and you need to eat well. By the way, where is Lily? She's not here. She's at Olivia's. I had some things to take care of today and asked her to watch her. Emily shut the door. Her tone was flat, devoid of its usual warmth. She noticed Margaret's eyes sweeping the house with a mix of wariness and curiosity. She was clearly looking for Alex. Margaret nodded, placed the casserole on the kitchen island, and turned to Emily, her face morphing into an expression of worry. Emily, you look terrible. Are you still feeling sick? When I called you yesterday, your voice sounded off. If you're really unwell, you should see a doctor. Don't push yourself. I'm fine. Just didn't sleep well. Emily leaned against the living room sofa and looked dead at her mother-in-law. Margaret, you didn't come here today just to bring me a casserole and check on my health, did you? Margaret's movements slowed. The smile froze on her face, but she quickly pulled the mask of a caring mother back up. Emily, how can you say that? I'm your mother-in-law. It's my job to look out for you and Lily, but it does seem like something is weighing on you. With Alex gone. If you're struggling with anything, just tell me. I'll help however I can. Struggling? Emily let out a cold, hollow laugh. My struggle is that I have no idea where my husband actually is. I have no idea why he's been hiding in my bedroom closet for 50 days, faking a business trip to spy on me. And I have no idea why my own mother-in-law teamed up with him to play me like a fool. Margaret, can you help me with that struggle? The words dropped like a bomb in the living room. Margaret's face instantly drained of all color. The wariness and curiosity in her eyes were replaced by sheer panic and shock. She stared at Emily, her lips trembling, unable to formulate a word for a long time. Emily. You. You know everything? I know. Emily nodded, her voice calm, but projecting an unyielding strength. Not only do I know Alex was hiding in the closet, I know he walked out the front door this morning. I know you've been lying to me this whole time. Margaret, right now I only want to know one thing. Why? Why did Alex hide in the closet? Why the fake trip? What is your endgame here? Margaret swayed slightly, stepping back and leaning against the kitchen archway. The color completely left her face. She realized the game was up. This daughter-in-law, the one she had always despised, tried to humiliate, and desperately wanted to control, had finally uncovered all their secrets. After a heavy silence, Margaret slowly raised her head. The panic on her face hardened into an icy, stubborn glare. She looked right at Emily and spat out. Fine. I admit it. I made Alex hide in the closet. And I told him to fake the business trip. So what? Emily's heart contracted. Even though she had guessed it, hearing it from her mother-in-law's mouth was unbearably painful. So what? Emily's voice rose. Margaret, we are family. What did I do so wrong that you would treat me this way? That you would lie to me? That you would actively destroy our family? Family, Margaret sneered, her voice dripping with venom and disdain. Emily, you have the nerve to talk about family? Look at yourself. An ordinary background, an unremarkable job, average looks. What right did you ever have to marry Alex? What right did you have to enter my family? Alex is exceptional. He could have had his pick of women. He could be living an incredible life right now. It's all because of you. You're dragging him down. I'm dragging him down? Emily stared in disbelief. Tears spilled over her lashes. Margaret, for 7 years I have worked, brought in money, managed the household, and taken care of Alex and Lily. I have never asked you for a single dime. I never demanded anything from you. When Alex worked late, I waited up. When he was sick, I nursed him. When he fought with you, I was the one who calmed him down and brokered peace. I raised Lily single-handedly from the day she was born. You never lifted a finger to help me. All you did was constantly humiliate and criticize me. And now you say I drag him down? That is your duty, Margaret declared with unshakable entitlement. Since you managed to marry Alex, you must perform your duties as a wife and mother. You think what you did is some grand sacrifice? In my eyes, it is the bare minimum. The bare minimum. Emily's heart completely froze. Margaret, in this world, nothing is the bare minimum. I treat Alex well, and I care for this family. Because I love Alex. I love this family. Not because I owe you something. Not because it's my duty. Love, Margaret scoffed. Can love feed you? Can love get Alex promoted? Can love elevate this family's status? Emily, you are incredibly naive. In the real world, the only thing that matters is advantage. With you, Alex will be stuck in mediocrity for the rest of his life. He will never reach his true potential. And that's why you forced him to hide in a closet? Faked a trip so he would divorce me? Emily stared at the older woman with a mix of profound disappointment and blazing anger. You want him to marry someone you approve of? Someone from a rich family who can advance his career? Margaret didn't deny it. A look of smug satisfaction crossed her face. Exactly. Emily, my advice to you is to be smart and file for divorce yourself. You and Alex are from two different worlds. You can't force a square peg into a round hole. If you keep clinging to him, you'll only ruin his future and embarrass yourself. I am not getting a divorce, Emily said with iron certainty. Alex and I truly love each other. We have Lily. Our family isn't going to just fall apart because you want it to. Margaret, I know you don't like me. I know you think I'm not good enough for him. But I'll work harder. I'll take better care of Alex, of Lily, of this house. I'm begging you. Please stop torturing us. Begging me? Margaret let out a harsh bark of a laugh. Emily, do you think begging is going to soften my resolve? Let me be perfectly clear. No, I have made my decision. I will see to it that you and Alex are divorced. If you don't walk away from my son and my family on your own, I will never let you have a moment of peace. What else could you possibly do? Despair crept into Emily's voice. You already made him hide in a closet and spy on me for 50 days. You lied to me for 50 days. Isn't that enough? What more are you going to do? What am I going to do? Margaret's gaze was lethal. I'm going to ruin your reputation. I want Alex to see your true colors. I want you to leave him. Emily, did you think I just put him in that closet to watch you watch TV? I was looking for leverage. I was waiting for you to slip up. The second you made a mistake, the second I had proof you were unfaithful, Alex would demand a divorce himself. And then, even if you wanted to cling to him, you wouldn't have a leg to stand on. Emily froze. The puzzle pieces violently slammed into place. She finally understood why Margaret forced Alex into the closet, why Margaret was probing her on the phone, why Margaret had photos of her with her coworker at the company mixer. She was trying to manufacture an infidelity scandal to force a divorce. So, at that office mixer, the person taking photos of me, you hired them, Emily said coldly, staring right through her mother-in-law. And those rumors about me and that guy from accounting, that was your doing too. You fed that to Alex to make him believe I was cheating, and used that to convince him to hide in the closet to catch me. Is that it? A triumphant smirk spread across Margaret's face. Yes, I did all of that. You're too naive, Emily. You thought you were so flawless, but you never imagined I'd hire a private investigator to trail you. I thought the second I handed him that proof, he'd drop you immediately. I didn't expect my son to be such a weak, soft-hearted fool. He dragged his feet for 50 days trying to protect your dignity, crying in a closet. Margaret's voice spiked with genuine rage and disappointment. How did I raise such a useless son? For some woman, he's willing to throw away his future. He even stopped listening to me. I put him in that closet to find dirt on you, not to sit there weeping over you. Emily looked at her mother-in-law with pure revulsion. She finally saw Margaret's true face. Selfish, ruthless, obsessed with control. Margaret never actually cared about Alex's happiness. Never cared about this family. She only cared about her own ego, her own status, and the bragging rights her son could bring her. Margaret, you have crossed every conceivable line. Emily's voice was rock steady. Alex is your son, not your property. He has his own mind, his own feelings, his own choices. You cannot control him forever and force him to live the life you want. Alex and I love each other. We have a daughter. We are not getting a divorce. No matter what psychotic schemes you pull, we will not divorce. How dare you? Margaret shook with fury, pointing a trembling, manicured finger at Emily. You dare talk back to me. You dare defy me. Let me tell you, you will fail. I will make sure you and Alex are divorced. Even if it costs me my life, I will rip you out of this family. At that exact moment, the front door clicked open. Alex stood in the entryway. He was pale, his face twisted in a complex knot of agony, staring at the two women in the living room. His duffel bag hit the floor with a thud. Clothes spilled out onto the hardwood. He had clearly walked in on the height of their screaming match. Alex, you're back! Upon seeing her son, Margaret's rage instantly vanished, replaced by desperate eagerness. She rushed over and grabbed his arm. Alex, tell this woman! Tell her to sign the papers. She's a burden. She's going to ruin your future. Stop falling for her manipulation. Alex said nothing. He slowly, deliberately pulled his arm out of his mother's grasp and looked at Emily. Emily stared back. Her eyes held betrayal, anger, and a shred of hope. Hope that he would finally take her side, tell the truth, and protect her and Lily. After a suffocating silence, Alex finally spoke. His voice was raspy, exhausted, and dripping with profound guilt. Mom. Stop. Alex, how can you say that? Margaret froze, staring at him in disbelief. I did all of this for your own good. For the good of the family. You can't let this woman make you forget everything I've done for you. Forget your future. For my own good? Alex looked down at his mother. His eyes were pools of disappointment and pain. Mom, your version of for my own good was forcing me to hide in a closet and spy on the woman I love. It was forcing me to lie to my face to the woman I love. It was trying to force me to divorce the woman I love using fabricated evidence. Mom, that is not for my own good. That is torture. You are destroying my family. You pushed me right to the edge of a cliff. I did not, Margaret shrieked. Alex, I just want you to have a better life. I want you to have a brilliant future. What did I do wrong? Emily is beneath you. She can't give you the life you deserve. Only by leaving her will you get to the top. You could make our family a legacy. The life I want has nothing to do with corporate climbing or legacy. Alex shouted back, finally losing control of his emotions. The life I want is to be with Emily, to be with Lily, to have a home that is peaceful and loving. Mom, you never asked what I want. You never actually understood me. You just shove your ambitions down my throat. You just want to control me. So what if I control you? I am your mother. What right do I not have to control you? Tears streamed down Margaret's face. Her voice was thick with resentment and bitterness. I broke my back raising you. It wasn't easy. I put every hope and dream I ever had into you. I just didn't want you to repeat my mistakes. What did I do wrong? Mom, I know you sacrificed for me. I know you thought you were doing it for me. Alex's tone softened slightly, his eyes reflecting his own guilt. But your methods are twisted. You can't claim you love me while destroying the people I love. Destroying my home. Mom, Emily is a good woman. She's kind, she's hardworking, she's warm. She has given so much to this family. She never betrayed me. Those proofs you showed me were garbage. Stop lying to yourself. I am not lying to myself, Margaret said stubbornly. Emily is not worthy of you. Even without the evidence, I will never accept her. Alex, if you do not divorce her, I will disown you. I will drop dead right in front of you. Mom, Alex yelled, tears finally breaking free. Why do you have to torture me like this? Why? Emily watched this tragic scene, her husband's agonizing breakdown, her mother-in-law's unyielding madness. A deep, bitter sorrow swelled in her chest. She walked over to Alex, gently took his hand, and looked Margaret dead in the eye. Margaret, I know you don't like me. I know you think I'm not good enough for him. And I know that no matter how hard I try, I may never get your true approval. But I am telling you right now, I truly love Alex. I truly love Lily. I truly want to build a happy life with them. I am not divorcing Alex. Even if you disown him, even if you swear you'll drop dead in front of us, I will not divorce him. Emily paused. Her tone softened slightly. Margaret, I know you struggled to raise Alex. I know you worry about him and want him to succeed. But have you ever considered that real success isn't about status or money? It's about having a family that stands together, understands each other, forgives each other, and cares for each other. Alex doesn't like office politics. He doesn't chase glory. He just wants a warm home. I will work hard. I will take good care of him, of Lily, of this house. I will strive to be better, so that maybe, one day, you can accept me. Margaret stared at Emily, absorbing her unwavering, sincere gaze, and then looked at her son's tortured, guilt-ridden face. The fortress of her stubbornness began to crack. She suddenly thought of the past 7 years, Emily's endless patience, her quiet sacrifices, her gentle care for Alex, the way she raised Lily. She remembered that Emily had never once raised her voice at her, never once fired back at her cruel remarks. She was forced to admit, in the deepest corner of her heart, that Emily truly was a good woman, a worthy wife, and a wonderful mother. Maybe she really was wrong. Maybe all this time, her twisted methods were only hurting her beloved son and tearing apart a family that could have been perfectly happy. Maybe Emily and Alex really were meant for each other. Maybe Emily really was the only one who could make Alex happy. The tears came faster now. Margaret swayed and leaned heavily against the wall. Her voice was raspy and defeated. I really was wrong. Mom, you weren't wrong. You just loved me too intensely, and you chose the wrong way to show it. Alex stepped forward and gently hugged his mother, tears streaming down his face. Mom, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that all these years I didn't understand you, didn't spend enough time with you, and made you so angry. I promise I won't disappoint you anymore. I'll work hard. I'll live well. And I'll take care of you, Emily and Lily. We are going to be together. Emily stepped closer and gently took Margaret's hand. Her mother-in-law's hand was rough, marked by years of hard work. It was trembling slightly. Emily looked at her with genuine sincerity. Margaret, I'm sorry too. I was wrong before. I didn't try to understand you or care for you the way I should have. From now on, I will respect you and look after you. We are one family. We're going to live in peace. Margaret looked at Alex, then at Emily, seeing the raw honesty and forgiveness in their eyes. The thick ice around her heart finally shattered completely. She sobbed openly and nodded. Okay, we'll be a family. Emily, forgive me. It's my fault. I bullied you. I lied to you. I forced Alex to do things he hated. Can you forgive me? Of course, Margaret. I forgive you. Emily smiled through her tears. We are family. There's nothing to forgive. Let's just move forward. No more misunderstandings, no more suspicions, no more fights. We're going to be a family. Okay. Margaret nodded emphatically, gripping Emily's hand as if holding on to her most precious treasure. For decades, she had stubbornly believed that only wealth and status equated to happiness. Only today did she realize that true happiness wasn't found in hollow ambitions. It was found when a family stood together, understanding, forgiving, and loving each other. The afternoon sun poured into the living room, illuminating the three figures, filling the house with warmth and hope. After the explosive confrontation, the toxic fog of misunderstanding, suspicion, and conflict finally lifted. All that remained was repentance, relief, and a desperate desire to cherish one another. Margaret held Emily's hand tightly, tears still flowing. Her voice was laden with guilt. Emily, I have wronged you so deeply. All these years, I was too stubborn, too selfish. I only thought about appearances and the family's legacy, but I never considered your feelings or saw your efforts. The cruel things I said, the things I did, those fake photos, it's all my fault. I am so sorry. Please don't hold it against me. I won't. Emily looked at Margaret's aged face and saw the genuine remorse. The resentment that had built up in her chest slowly evaporated, leaving only a faint ache and a profound sense of empathy. She gently patted the older woman's hand. Margaret, I know you were dealing with your own demons. You just love Alex too much, and you chose the wrong path. What's past is past. Let's not bring it up again. We're going to live well. Alex stood nearby, looking at the two most important women in his life. His eyes reflected immense relief and gratitude. For 50 days he had hid in a closet, tortured by guilt and agony. On one side was the mother who raised him, carrying heavy expectations. On the other was the wife he had loved for years, who quietly carried the weight of their home. He had been caught between two fires, practically driven to a mental breakdown. Now, the conflict was resolved. The lies were exposed. He didn't need to run anymore. He could finally look them in the eye. Mom. I am so sorry. This is all my fault. Alex walked over and wrapped his arms around both of them. His voice was gruff. Mom, from now on, I'll spend more time with you. I'll try to understand you better. I won't make you angry or let you down. But I also need you to respect my choices, respect my marriage to Emily, and respect our home. He turned to Emily. I am so sorry I put you through hell. I promise I will never lie to you again. I will never leave you to carry the burden alone. Whatever happens, we face it together. I know. Emily leaned into Alex's chest, nodding firmly. Tears spilled over again, but this time, they were tears of profound relief. 7 years of endurance hadn't been in vain. She had finally earned Alex's complete honesty, Margaret's acceptance, and the warmth this family always deserved. Margaret leaned against Alex too, sniffling. Okay, we'll do it your way. I promise, I won't be stubborn anymore. I won't pick on Emily, and I won't interfere in your lives. We'll be a family. The three of them held each other. The living room was quiet, save for the sound of breathing and soft crying. The sunlight felt like a blessing upon a family that had walked through fire to finally find its peace. After a long while, the emotions settled. Margaret wiped her face, a long-forgotten, genuine smile appearing on her lips. She took Emily's hand. Emily, I brought groceries today. I'm going to make your favorite pot roast with mashed potatoes. You need to get your strength back. You've been exhausted these past few days. Seeing the gentle smile on Margaret's face, Emily felt a genuine warmth in her chest. She nodded. Sounds amazing, Margaret. I'll help you. I'll help too, Alex smiled, walking over to the grocery bags. Before, Alex rarely did chores and almost never set foot in the kitchen. He was used to being served, but today he grabbed a knife and started prepping the vegetables. His movements were clumsy, but full of earnest effort. Margaret and Emily joined him in the kitchen. Margaret seasoned the roast, Emily prepped the potatoes, and Alex washed the greens. The three of them worked in a chaotic but harmonious rhythm, and soon, genuine laughter echoed through the kitchen. A long-lost sense of domestic warmth filled the house. While cooking, Margaret brought up the closet scheme herself, her tone heavy with regret. Emily, the truth is, when I made Alex hide in there, I wasn't thinking straight. I had heard that the daughter of one of the major investors at Alex's firm had a crush on him. That investor has serious pull. He could have fast-tracked Alex's career and given our family a huge leg up. I gave in to the temptation. I wanted Alex to divorce you and marry her. But Alex flat out refused. He told me he loved you, but he couldn't betray you or Lily. I couldn't change his mind, so I hatched that psychotic plan. I figured if I got proof you were cheating, his pride would make him divorce you. But I didn't expect that not only would he refuse to help me find proof, he was secretly agonizing over you the whole time, feeling sorry for me too. And that guy taking pictures at the mixer? I hired him. The fake text messages? I ordered those too. I wanted Alex to see them and believe you were unfaithful. But even when he looked at them as devastated as he was, he didn't believe it. He said he knew you, and you weren't that kind of person. Emily listened, and there was no anger left in her heart, only pity. She realized Margaret had acted not just out of malice, but out of a desperate, warped desire for security, driven by her own hard life. She wanted her son to succeed so she could be proud. She just chose a toxic path and hurt the people closest to her. Margaret, I know you did it because you love Alex, Emily said softly. But love isn't a transaction, and marriage isn't a stepping stone for career advancement. Alex loves me, and I love him. As long as we're together, even if we live an ordinary life, we're happy. We'll work hard. We'll build a good life. And we won't let you down. Alex stopped washing vegetables and looked at his mother. Mom. I don't care about the fast track. I don't care about prestige. All I care about is you, and Lily. As long as we are together and at peace, that's all that matters. I will work hard, I'll provide for us, and I'll take care of you. I won't let you suffer anymore. Margaret nodded, a look of profound contentment in her eyes. I understand now. I really do. I won't be foolish anymore. If you two are happy, then I can finally be at peace. Soon, dinner was ready. A massive pot roast, creamy mashed potatoes, green bean casserole, all the classic comfort foods Emily and Alex loved. The aroma filled the entire house. Hey, let's have Olivia bring Lily back so she can try Grandma's cooking. Emily smiled, pulling out her phone. Liv, can you bring Lily home? We made a huge dinner. We're waiting for you guys. Absolutely. Be right there, Olivia replied cheerfully. I've been waiting for you guys to finally sort this out. Half an hour later, Olivia walked in with Lily. The second Lily saw Alex in the living room, her eyes lit up like fireworks. She broke away from Olivia, ran across the room, and threw herself into his arms. Daddy! Daddy, you're finally back! I missed you so much! Alex hugged her tight, his eyes instantly turning red. He kissed her cheek. Daddy's back, baby. Daddy missed you too. I'm sorry I made you wait so long. I'm sorry I worried you. Daddy, you won't hide in the closet anymore, right? Lily looked up with big, hopeful eyes. I don't want you to hide anymore. I want to see you every day. I want you to eat dinner with me, tuck me in, and read me stories. Alex's heart broke. He squeezed her tight and nodded fiercely. I promise, sweetie. I am so sorry. Daddy will never hide in a closet again. I'm never leaving you. I will be here every single day to eat with you, tuck you in, and read you stories. Yay! Lily clapped her hands, kissed Alex's cheek, then ran over and hugged Emily's leg. Mommy, Mommy, Daddy's back. Are we all together again? Yes, baby. We are all together again. Emily crouched down, hugged her daughter, and smiled, her eyes radiating pure joy. Olivia stood by the door, watching the warm reunion. A satisfied smile spread across her face. I'm so glad, Em. Alex, I'm so happy to see you guys together. Em has been out of her mind the past few days, but it's over now. Thank you, Liv, for everything. Thank you for looking after Lily, Emily said with deep gratitude. Please, we're best friends, Olivia smiled. Your mess is my mess. Anyway, I'm not going to crash your family dinner. I'll head out. Call me if you need anything. We'll walk you out, Emily and Alex said in unison. After seeing Olivia off, the family sat down at the dining table. Lily sat right between Alex and Emily. She'd put a piece of carrot on Alex's plate, scoop some potatoes for Emily, and then hand a dinner roll to her grandmother, chattering the whole time. Eat, Daddy, eat, Mommy. Grandma, this is so yummy. Margaret looked at Lily's adorable face, her own face breaking into a wide, genuine smile. She kept putting extra portions on Lily's plate. Eat up, sweetheart. Eat a lot so you grow big and strong. Alex looked at Emily, at Lily, at his mother. He looked lighter, happier. He took the serving spoon, placed a prime cut of roast on Emily's plate, and said softly, Em, you need to eat more too. Get your strength back. Emily looked into Alex's eyes, and a wave of deep warmth washed over her. She nodded and took a bite. The food was incredible not just because of the recipe, but because it tasted like home, and it tasted like love. Throughout dinner, Lily talked nonstop about her first-grade class, her friends, and the games they played at recess. The dining room was filled with her laughter and a profound sense of peace. Margaret occasionally chimed in, asking about school and Emily's work. Her tone was gentle, stripped entirely of its former passive-aggressive bite. Alex talked too, discussing real plans for the future, sharing his actual hopes for their family. They were all present, and it was beautiful. After dinner, Alex cleared the table and washed the dishes himself. Emily sat on the sofa with Margaret, watching TV and chatting. Margaret held Emily's hand, recounting stories of Alex's childhood and her own youth. Her voice was nostalgic and soft. Emily listened patiently, adding a few words here and there, keeping her company without a trace of the old resentment. Meanwhile, Lily stood by the sink, watching Alex wash the dishes. She occasionally handed him a dish towel, saying in her sweet little voice, Are you tired, Daddy? I'll wipe your sweat. Alex looked down at her, his heart full. He washed the plates and answered every one of her questions with endless patience and love. That night, after Lily took her bath, Alex read her a bedtime story. Emily helped Margaret get settled in the guest room. In the past, Margaret would never let Emily make the bed for her, always claiming she did it wrong and finding something to complain about. But tonight, she didn't offer a single criticism. She sat quietly on the edge of the mattress, looking at Emily with profound gratitude. Thank you, Emily, Margaret said softly. You've had a hard road all these years. From now on, I will treat you like my own daughter. You don't need to thank me, Margaret. We're family, Emily smiled warmly. From now on, we're going to be close. We'll take care of Alex and Lily together. We'll have a good life. Margaret nodded, a look of absolute peace in her eyes. Together. A good life. After tucking in Margaret and Lily, Emily walked into the master bedroom. Alex had already showered and was sitting on the edge of the bed, waiting for her. Seeing her, he stood up, pulled her into his arms, and whispered, Em, I'm so sorry I put you through that. I will never let you suffer like that again. Emily rested her head against his chest. I know. I don't blame you anymore. From now on, we face everything together. No more lies, no more hiding. Never again, Alex nodded firmly, holding her tighter. Whatever happens, we do it together. Whatever problems come up, we solve them together. I will work hard. I'll take care of you, Lily and Mom. I will protect this family. Emily nodded, her eyes shining with quiet joy. She looked up and gently pressed her lips to his. Alex kissed her back deeply. It was a kiss loaded with repentance, relief, gratitude, and a fierce, renewed love. The moonlight filtered through the blinds, casting a soft, romantic glow over the room. This family, having survived a bizarre and grueling trial, had finally cleared the wreckage and found their sanctuary. From that day on, Margaret never belittled Emily again, nor did she try to micromanage their marriage. Instead, she helped with Lily, pitched in with chores, and treated Emily with the warmth of a real mother. Alex became more mature, more grounded. He stopped running away from conflict. He stopped keeping secrets. Whenever an issue arose, he talked it out with Emily. He took on his share of the mental load, became a true partner in the house, and treated Emily like gold. Emily, too, became lighter and more joyful. She no longer had to swallow her pain. She woke up happy to go to work, happy to come home, deeply in love with her husband, at peace with her mother-in-law, and thrilled to watch Lily grow up surrounded by stability. On weekends, they'd all go to the local park, hit the farmer's market, cook together, and watch movies. The house was always full of laughter. Lily was thriving, anchored by a dad who was truly present, a mom who was happy, and a grandmother who loved her unconditionally. Sometimes, Emily would think back to those dark days. She'd remember the 50 days Alex spent in the closet, Margaret's manipulative schemes, and her own crushing despair. But she didn't regret it, because that bizarre, terrifying ordeal was the catalyst that finally exposed the rot. It forced Margaret to see her own toxicity, forced Alex to confront his cowardice, and taught them all how to communicate, forgive, and fiercely protect what mattered. Emily knew marriage was never a perfectly smooth road. There would always be bumps. But the key was that when the road got rocky, you didn't run, and you didn't hide, especially not in a closet. You had to be honest. You had to strive to understand. You had to forgive. And you had to hold on tight to the people you loved. The Texas sun shone brightly, the breeze was warm, and the family was together, safe and sound. The house, once a battleground of silent wars and absurd secrets, was now a true home, echoing with laughter, hope, and dreams. And that custom built-in closet? It just held clothes now, its dark history fading into the background. But it remained a quiet, unforgettable monument to the strangest chapter of their marriage, standing as a permanent reminder to never take their hard-won peace for granted.